So we have a responsibility to speak out on behalf of the environment. But it's a very difficult job because there are so many people who are up to mischief about these issues. In the United States, for example, over the past, since 2008, the number of people who think that climate scientists are debating whether or not climate change is happening has increased by about 12%. So almost half of Americans think that climate scientists disagree about whether or not climate change is happening. And I asked a friend of mine, Andrew Weaver, who's one of Canada's leading climate scientists, how many climate scientists would agree with that, and he said fairly close to zero. When the public is misinformed and doesn't think that a problem is a problem, then it's very difficult for leaders to lead. So I don't know what your reaction to that is, David. I mean, I know you speak out all the time about this, and sometimes very forcefully.
Well, I would agree with Ty that we have the vote, and we can vote and on the basis of these needs from our politicians, the vision and the commitment to make a difference. The problem is that a lot of us aren't voting in Canada, but also the discussion in Canada is down in the weeds. We're not having the discussion at that high level, and down in the weeds is where you get all kinds of confusion and the opportunity for mischief on the part of often the corporate sector.
We have to accept that this civilization can be destroyed, not by something outside, but by ourselves. In fact, many civilizations have been destroyed in the past. So it's very important our mental formation, our mind. I think if we allow despair to take over, we have no strength left in order to do anything at all. And that is why we should do anything that can prevent despair to happen, including meditation. So when we meditate on civilizations that have been destroyed in the past, and if we can accept, we may have peace and become a better worker for the environment. Because people who know what is happening, but allow it to happen and cannot do anything, there are so many of them. There's so many because they have despair in them, and they try only to survive. And if you can help them to sort out the inside, if you can help them to have hope, if you can help them to have peace in themselves, and suddenly they have the strength to come back to themselves and giving a hand of contribution, and that person will be an instrument for the protection of the environment.
So in accepting the reality that this could very well end disastrously does not mean one retreats to become passive then, but that one can remain active, but with that acceptance that...
Because we can look like this. 100 years, 200 years is nothing. If you talk about geological time, this civilization might be destroyed, and it may take 1 billion years more in order to have another civilization, and that already happened in the past. And we have to accept reality as it is, and acceptance like that can bring us peace. And with that kind of peace, we have force, and you can do, and you can reverse the situation. And meditation play a role. To meditate means to look deeply, and to look deeply, you get the insight. And with that insight, you are free from despair, anger, and you are a better worker for the environment.